Hope you all are well. Enjoying our novel, The Sign of Four. Dear children, today we will be dealing with the last part of our novel. Up till now, we have seen the major events that our client, Miss Mary Mostyn, she visited our detective, Sherlock Holmes, our narrator, Dr. Watson. He has described everything. And in our last lecture, we have seen that they are about to reach the place where Mary has been called by an anonymous letter. They are sitting in the cab. Mary and Watson, they are talking in a very low voice with each other, whereas Sherlock is sitting very quietly thinking something. In the cab, Mary has given him a piece of paper where some things, some dots were there, some names were written, and Sherlock said that this is some kind of unusual case. It is not that simple as I was thinking about it. Now, Watson is saying that it was September evening. The cab started from their place, and he says that the day was a very dreary one. Suddenly, Mary came, an unknown person, her problem, her situation, the way Sherlock took it. He is ready to help Mary, and now they are moving towards that particular place. Now, he is saying that evening 7 o'clock, quite darkness has begun. He says that down the strand the lamps were but misty, spotless of diffused light. Very dim light, very low light was there on the road on which their cab, their taxi was going. The yellow glare from the shop window can be seen. The shops which were there on the road, inside the shop, the lights can be seen. And he says that in all this situation, the questions which were going in the mind of Sherlock, the incidents which he has joined, and he was about to find the answer, he has not discussed it with Mary nor with Watson. He says that there was to my mind something eerie and ghost-like in the endless procession of faces. Very dangerous. Something which is very scary. This kind of thoughts were going in the mind of Watson because Mary was unaware of this, that Sherlock has taken a revolver with him. But Watson has seen this. So in his mind, he was very much scared, doubtful, what will happen next? Then he says that, like all humankind, this thought were very natural. If you don't know any place where you have been called by an unknown person, though there are 2 people or 3 people accompanying you, the fear will be still in your mind. That is the place safe for me? What will happen when we will arrive? Will someone attack us? Will we get kidnapped or what? All these thoughts were going in the mind. He says that I was not a subject who will impress someone, but he says that the dull, heavy evening, because of this dull, heavy evening which was going on, somewhere in his mind, he was getting affected. He was getting affected by this. Now he says that I was becoming nervous and depressed. But if he shows this kind of sign, Mary, who is already very nervous, who is already in a dangerous situation of her life, because they don't know what will happen next, she will also get scared. He says that I can see from Miss Mary Mostyn's manner that she was suffering from the same feeling. She was also experiencing the same thing. You can find out what is going in the mind of a person if you will look at the facial expression, not exactly what is going on, but yes, whether the person is tensed, or whether the person is not well, or if the person is very happy. Looking into the eyes, or looking at the face, or looking at certain expressions of the human being, sometime we can find out that what is going in the mind of the person. Now he's telling about Sherlock that he was looking quite relaxed. He was quite. The piece of paper, his notebook, which he has taken from Miss Mostyn, he was joining the dots continuously to find out whether something or other clue he is getting from it or not. Now he said, by all these, when all these things were going on, he said, we reached to the given address, the Lyceum Theatre. Crowds were already thick. It was quite evening time. Near the theatre, the crowd was there. So many four-wheelers were there. He says that we had already hardly reached the third pillar, the exact address where Mary has been called, when they were just about to reach to that place. They were about to reach to the third pillar near the Lyceum Theatre. He says that a small, dark, brisk man in the dress of a coachman, he led us. He came near us. Small, dark, brisk man. He straightly, directly came to them. He says that, are you the parties who come with Miss Mostyn? Are you the people who are accompanying Miss Mostyn? Now, this incident tells us that the man, the person who was there to take them with him, already knew Mary Mostyn very well. But he was not knowing about Sherlock and Watson. That's why he confirmed, he asked that, are you the parties? Are you the person who are coming with Miss Mostyn? Don't you think that before Mary, so many people, let me be very specific, so many ladies would have gone from that place? Don't you think that along with those ladies, maybe two ladies are walking together, or maybe with one lady and one gents, they are walking together? Anything could have happened. But he didn't approach anyone. He directly came to him asking that, are you the parties? It means he knows Mary very well. She says that, I am Mary Mostyn and these are my true friends. He bent a pair of wonderfully questioning. He looked at them with a very penetrating, a questionful eyes, doubting that they are not the cops. Doubting that they are not the cops, because it was clearly mentioned in the letter that you are allowed to bring two of your friends with you, but you should not bring any cop with you. She says that, no, they are my friends. They are not the cops. No one is a police officer. My companion, they are my companion. No one is police officer. And Mary says, I give you my word for this. You have to trust me that these people, they are my friends. After doing a small confirmation about all this situation, that man, he gave a shrill whistle, a signal. As soon as he gave the signal, a Arab late street, a four-wheeler came and opened the door. An Arab who was driving a four-wheeler, a taxi. He came after listening that whistle. He opened the door. The man asked them to get inside that. When they took their place inside, the man, he whipped his horse. A tanga-like thing they were going. And they started their journey. They don't know where they are going. Neither John, neither Sherlock, nor Mary. No one knows where they are going. Simply a whistle. After listening to that whistle, an Arab man came taking a tonga. They sat in that as the man told him, and their journey from that Lyceum theater started again. It was, of course, a very curious situation. A very curious situation for all three of them. An unknown man, unknown place. Nothing could be done except just for sitting. Just they can think what to do now. What next? This was the only place where they had been called, and now from there, they had been taken to somewhere else. They don't know. But now, as they are going from this place, Sherlock is taking the names of the road, the streets from which they are going. The fear is, of course, there in the mind of Sherlock, Watson, Mary. What will happen next? The biggest fear is there in the mind of Mary. Trusting her difficult situation. Sherlock and Watson trusted her, thinking that they will help her to solve her problem, to solve the mystery of her disappeared father, to solve the mystery that every year she is getting a very valuable pearl. Now they are being taken to a place which is not mentioned in that letter. They are not known where they are going. But as you can see in your textbook, page number 214, as they are proceeding ahead, Sherlock is taking the names of the road. Imagine, student, you're starting your journey from, let's say, from the starting point of our college. If you're on that gate, if you're going to the left side, you're going to the Station Road. If you're going on to the right side, you will go to State Bank. You are able to know if you're going in the daytime. But during night time, if you're taken on this road, to some point you will be able to make out that yes, this is that SBI Chowk, this is the DSP Chowk, then we are being taken to Aurangabad Road. And what will happen if the person who is taking you is taking left turn or right turn, if left turn and right turn? It will be a difficult situation for you to find out, to make out on which road you are being exactly taken by that person. But our detective, he's a very skillful and intelligent person. He knows, he's taking all the names. He's saying that now we are going to Rochester Row, now Vincent Square. Now we came out on the Vexel Bridge Road. We are making for the Surrey side. Yes, I thought so. Now we are on the bridges. You can catch glimpse of the river. Exactly, he's telling he's on which road, on which path we are going. And of course, they saw Thames River, because he said now you can see the glimpse of the river. Then they have been taken to the Wordsworth Road, Prairie Road, Lark Hall Lane, Stockwell Place, Robert Street, Cold Harbor Lane. All they are going from street to lane, street to lane. Watson is saying that our quest does not appear to take us to very fashionable reasons. It means they are going to a place which is not that much very fashionable. Fashionable means they are going to the place which is not that much very, you can call as high-fi society. They're going to somewhere, a place where not so called hi-fi, also high society people are living. Indeed, they reached a questionable and forbidding neighborhood. A forbidden. No one comes often from that place, like kind of place. They arrived. Long lines of dull brick houses. There were long lines of dull brick houses. They are not knowing where they are going. But finally, they have arrived at some place. The description of that place is given here. You can find it on page number 215. The description of the page is given. Then he says that then come rows of two-storied villas, each with a fronting of miniature garden, and then again interminable lines of new string brick buildings, monster tentacles which the giant city was throwing out into the country. The description of the lane, the description of the place where they have been taken. Finally, it seems that they had arrived to some place. Finally, it seems that this is the place where they have been called. We stopped. As the cab drew up at the third house in a new terrace. Dark neighbors. At 7 o'clock, they reached near Lyceum Theatre. And from there, when their journey started, you can imagine it must have been taken more than 1 hour, maybe 2 hours. It was dark everywhere. Only for a single glimmer in the kitchen window. They can see only a single light. That also they can see from the kitchen window. When they knocked the door was instantly opened by a servant who wore a yellow turban, white loose-fitting clothes, and a yellow sash. A servant opened the door wearing a feta, wearing a turban. His dress is described. Instantly, within a second, the door was open. Something strangely incourageous in the oriental figure framed in the commonplace doorway of a third-rate suburban dwelling house. It means that something very unusual is going to take place. Watson is saying. We don't know. Maybe we were about to taken into some place where no one lives, but they have arrived in a house. Of course, it is a place where not so many people are living, not a society kind of place over there. The servant who, let's say, welcomed or who came to take them, he says that the sahib awaits you. The sahib is waiting for you. When he said this, a high piping voice from some inner room asked, "Show them to me, khidmatgar." The sahab of that khidmatgar, of that servant, he is asking him to show them to me, means to bring them to me. Show them straight into me. Don't allow them to go here and there. Show them straight into me. Show them right before me. Immediately bring them before me. This is what the sahib ordered to khidmatgar. Here are part of the novel, The Sign of the Four, ends. Dear children, this novel, The Sign of Four, it actually has 12 chapters. We have been done with only 3 chapters. Because this much only is given in our textbook. To know what has happened next, you can go through it again. You can read the whole novel. You will find in Google. There is a movie based on this also, The Sign of the Four. A very short movie. It is only of 22 minutes, some seconds. And in that, all the mystery has been revealed. What happens? Finally, of course, taking into consideration all the situation, the incidents which has taken place one after the other, it was solved by our detective Sherlock Holmes. Who were the four peoples whose name we have seen in our last lectures? What they did, everything has been told in the novel, in the complete chapter of the novel. Read that and enjoy the novel. Enjoy the detective work of Sherlock Holmes. Now, dear children, we will start with our brainstorming session, the question answer session. One or two questions we will solve. I'll give you an example of this, and then later on you can solve it on your own. These all are the descriptive type of questions which you will be dealing with this, and you have to solve all these questions. A question, A1, it says that read the extract again and complete the way by highlighting the qualities of the following characters. Characters of John Watson, Sherlock Holmes, and Mary Morstan are given. I'll tell you the qualities. Dr. Watson, he is observant. He observes very carefully. He is courteous. He is a pessimistic kind of person, and he is a diffident kind of person. Pessimistic, not having that much hope. Diffident, he was a shy kind of person. Coming to Sherlock Holmes, an intelligent person, a skillful, precise, and methodical. Precise, very short, not talking too much, not taking so much long time, doing long gossips. No, he was a very precise kind of detective. Third is Mary Morstan. Mary Morstan's qualities: she was sensitive, she was attractive, she was kind, and she was intuitive. Intuitive means she was instinctive. These are the qualities of our three major characters of the novel, The Sign of the Four. Now, look into the questions. Question number 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Describe the character of Mary Morstan from Dr. Watson's point of view. The character of Mary Morstan from Dr. Watson's point of view. You can take this answer from page number 209, first and second paragraph. Read it carefully and make your own answer after reading the passage. Use some creative idea of your own to write such answers. Coming to third question, Sherlock Holmes is the leading character in the extract. Explain how you can say that Sherlock Holmes is the leading character in this extract. For this, you can take the help of your textbook again and whatever points or things you have understood after reading the novel about Sherlock Holmes, taking the help of the qualities which I have described just now, you can write the answer that he is the leading character because he is the detective person, Why he is the leading character? Because Mary came to seek his help. You can write, he was ready to help Mary. He was a very skillful person. He has helped. He has helped to solve the case of Mrs. Cecil Forrester. Likewise. Then fourth question says Dr. Watson, the narrator, is one of the major characters in the novel. Illustrate. Yes, he is one of the major characters, as the question itself tells that he is the narrator of our novel. Because he is the narrator, he is the major character, as well as he is the friend of our leading character, Sherlock Holmes. You can write about John Watson. In the last lecture which we have seen, that you can take the help of your textbook, page number 212. He was the major character. Why? Because he was an army surgeon. Some qualities of John Watson, you can explain it in your answer. Fifth question says, Holmes is always one step ahead of Dr. Watson in solving cases. Explain it. Holmes is always one step ahead. Read it and listen to what I'm saying. Holmes is always one step ahead. You can take it that page number 211, the last paragraph says that, what a very attractive woman, I exclaimed. I means John Watson. Turning to my companion, to Sherlock Holmes is turning and is saying that, I'm reading it for you, dear children. Please pay attention. Listen it carefully. He had lit his pipe again and was leaning back with dropping eyelids. Is she? I did not observe. Watson is saying that she is very attractive woman looking at the physical appearance also. Sherlock is saying, is she? I did not observe that. And the next paragraph of 211 page, the right side paragraph, second paragraph is giving you the answer. Watson is saying, you are just a calculating machine. There is something positively inhuman at times. He smiled gently and he says that. He says, not to allow your judgment to be biased by personal qualities. A client is to me a mere unit, a factor in a problem. This is how Sherlock always sees a person, as simply a client, a person who is in problem, and he tries to solve that. Coming to A2 questions, I'll just tell you the jumbled incidents. Jumbled incidents is already given in your textbook. I'll tell you the correct sequence of that. Listen to it carefully and try to solve the remaining questions. Discuss the importance of the following statement from the light of the extract. From A2, question number 2, A3. Just try to solve it on your own. If not, I'm always there. You can contact me. Now, the correct sequence, I'll directly tell you the answer. Mary Morstan was a well-dressed young lady. Mary Morstan was a well-dressed young lady. B. Mary's father was an officer in an Indian regiment. Mary's father was an officer in an Indian regiment. Third says, Mary received a large and lustrous pearl every year through the post. Mary receives a large and lustrous pearl every year through the post. Fourth incident says, Holmes gave Winwood's book, Martyrdom of Man, to Dr. Watson. Holmes gives Winwood's book, Martyrdom of Man, to Dr. Watson. And the last incident is, Holmes put a revolver in his pocket. Holmes put a revolver in his pocket. Students, some questions we have solved. Some I hope you will solve. Try to solve that. Try to see that you are able to write the answers. Till then, when we meet up for our next session. Take care of your health, dear children. Stay home, stay safe, and study. And take care of your health and the health of your near and dear one. Bye-bye.